Hello, this is Maciek, the Diligent Linguist. Welcome to my next video. Today I want to talk about polysemy and homonymy. Basically, polysemy means that a word has more than one meaning and that these meanings can be somehow related. You can feel or understand the connection between them. Homonymy means that two words have the same form, identical spelling and pronunciation, but their meanings are different. There seems to be little or no connection at all between them. So both polysemy and homonymy are associated with a situation when a word has more than one meaning attached to it. However, we talk about homonymy when no relation can be found between the various senses of the word. Polysemy, on the other hand, indicates that some kind of connection can be identified. There are two things I want to underline. First, these two semantic relations reflect the ways we see the world. Secondly, it is sometimes difficult to decide if a given word with several meanings is an example of polysemy or homonymy. Some people will say there is a relation between the individual meanings, while others will see no connection whatsoever. The learners of foreign languages will notice the difference in dictionaries. Homonyms are considered as separate entries. For polysemy, all senses of a given word are treated as a single entry in a dictionary. Think about the word language. In Polish, język. It has multiple meanings, and if you're a linguist, then you will probably know even more ways to define language. We can describe it as a symbolic system of speech and writing. Language can also be seen as a skill of verbal communication that sets humans apart from all other animals, all other species. Thirdly, think about expressions like "watch your language." In such cases, the presented word is understood as a particular style of expression. Oh, one more. Since this video focuses more on the Polish examples, I'd like to bring your attention to the fact that language is also synonymous to tongue. And the basic meaning of tongue is the speech organ, the mass of muscular tissue in the mouth. Interestingly, the word tongue can only be used to represent a human language in English, not other artificial systems like computer languages. In Polish, both tongue and language are represented by the single word język. Look at the following examples. Język jest systemem znaków. Język ciała i ton głosu są ważniejsze niż słowa. Trudno jest nam znaleźć wspólny język. Java to potężny obiektowy język programowania. Niechcący ugryzłem się w język. You will notice that it's quite easy to find links between these meanings. They're all related to communication. The system of symbols used in communication, the use of the body to express yourself, finding a shared mode of communication, passing instructions to a computer, and finally the organ used to articulate sounds. The next word I want to present is FALA, which is normally translated as wave. Just like in English, The central meaning of FALA is one of a series of ridges moving across a large body of water. However, if you just take a minute to look up the word FALA in a Polish dictionary, you will easily notice that there are multiple possible and to some extent related meanings of FALA. First of all, it may symbolize an energy wave, like a sound wave, fala dźwiękowa. It can also indicate a wave of heat, fala upałów, fala gorąca. In this sense, the word indicates a persistent, widespread and possibly unusual weather condition. Next, fala can also be used in reference to emotions and moods, as in fala uczuć, fala radości, fala strachu, or fala nienawiści. Essentially, fala is used to talk about a surge of a certain emotion. It works similar to the English nouns surge or tide. I believe you can also use, metaphorically, the expression tidal wave in English. Actually, we're not limited to feelings. We can speak of a surge of any phenomenon. Fala strajków, fala sukcesów, fala bankructw, fala zbrodni. In fact, the simple convention expressed by fala can be used to represent a lot of things. For example, some Polish dictionaries mention that fala can also mean a wavy wisp of hair. So we're not talking about locks, because locks are curly. We're talking about waves, wavy hair. The power of the words like fala to represent multiple meanings stems from the fact that it relies on a very simple mental schema, a basic building block used by imagination to create meanings. This specific schema is called a cyclic climax. Mark Johnson, a cognitive linguist, explains that a lot of activities in our life are arranged into cycles. They're repetitive. And some of the cycles are similar to waves, having periodic rises and falls, just like the air temperature during the day and night. I have just demonstrated the phenomenon of polysemy using a visual representation. For a lot of people, especially the more visual learners, such pictorial cues may help memorize words. In the world of language learning and teaching, they're called image mnemonics. However, not all examples of words with more than one meaning are so clear. Look at our next example. What is the meaning of the Polish noun zamek? Well, if you just try to use Google search to find related images, it will become clear that it means a castle. In everyday life, you may need other senses of zamek more often. Zamek means the zip or zipper that you can find in your trousers, your bag or your jacket. Zamek can also mean a lock, the mechanism fitted to a door, a drawer or a suitcase so that it can only be opened with a key. What's the link between these three meanings? Well, it may not be as strong as in the case of fala, but think about it. A castle is a fortified and guarded structure. It's not supposed to be entered easily. This sense of enclosure and protection is encoded in all of the three discussed meanings. Sometimes the connection may be difficult to find because it's related to the past use of a given word. Look, this item is called granat in Polish. It's a pomegranate. Now, this thing is also called granat. What is more, there is a gemstone that we call granat. In English, it's called a garnet. Okay, there is some sense in it. The pomegranate and the jewel share a similar color, a deep, deep red color. But look, we call this color granat. And there is a matching adjective, granatowy. Where's the connection? Well, the military term, the grenade, comes from the Latin word granada. I think it sounds quite similar in Italian. It's a lexical borrowing, a loan word. Now, what about the remaining senses? According to information I have found at one of the websites of the Silesian University, it seems that already in the 16th century the Polish people used the word granat to indicate the pomegranate tree and its fruits. Later, in the 18th century, the meaning was extended to also indicate the gemstone, because of the color that resembled that of the pomegranate seeds. The use of granat to mean the navy blue color started to become popular in the 19th century, and there are two possible explanations for it. One, it could be a gradual transition. The word originally meant deep red, then purple, then deep purple, and eventually dark blue. The second option, there are some records of a kind of fabric. It was popular in the 17th century, and it was dark blue in color. It was also called granat. Anyway, in the 21st century, we are stuck with a word that means a kind of fruit, a gemstone of a deep red color, and a non-matching color, navy blue. Oh, and don't forget the explosive device. We've got a mix of homonymy and polysemy here. How to memorize all these meanings using an image? Because I recommended image mnemonics earlier. Well, we can try to produce a striking example, something that shows contrast. Let's start with the earliest meaning of granat, the pomegranate fruit. Now, let's substitute all the seeds with the garnet gemstones. Okay, you can also see that the shape of the pomegranate fruit and the grenade are not really that much different. So let's change half of the pomegranate into a grenade. Alright, we still need to represent the dark blue color somehow. How about creating a navy blue explosion around the shape that we've created? Now we have the four meanings of granat represented within a single image. I hope you enjoyed my presentation of polysemy and homonymy. It may sometimes be difficult to find links between the various meanings of the same word, but in the context of language learning, try to find any possible connection. And if it still proves to be impossible, try to use your imagination to make an association that will work for you. Something that will help you memorize the item faster and more efficiently. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to receive a notification whenever I upload new content. Have a great day, and remember, never stop learning languages. Bye bye.